Dear students, welcome to today's lecture on Poaceae family. In the first class of this angiospermic family Poaceae, we have covered morphological and reproductive characteristics. We have discussed morphological and reproductive characters of family Poaceae. Also, we have known and we have discussed its geographical distribution, its species richness, its diversity, and also we have now known of its uh, importance. Is this a monocot or a dicot family? We have known some characteristic features of monocots and dicots family. So today we are going to discuss its anatomical characteristics and its economic importance. Economic importance will be the last part of this lecture. So we will start first it is anatomical characteristics. So anatomy of Poaceae family. Now we know that Poaceae is the family belongs to the class of monocots. So monocots have some characteristic features. We all should know what are these characteristic features. Last lecture I have already taught these characteristic features like like parallel venation, like one seeded cotyledon, endospermic seed cotyledons is one, and they have some other characteristics. So anatomically, they are also varied from dicots. The variation is like in this first picture, I am showing here you TSR root, transverse section of root. Through this transverse section, you will find vascular bundle in between. These vascular bundles, these hollow white color, these hollow round structures are the vascular bundles. These are the xylem rings. So usually if we compare it with dicots, dicots have less than 8 number of vascular bundles, but here you will find it is more than 8. So vascular bundle is large in number. That means xylem and phloem is large in number as compared to dicots, and it is mostly 8 plus in number, and its structure is circular or round, but polygonal structure or edging structure is found in dicot root. So this is one of the most characteristic feature, and inside this TS you will find a permanent pith area. That pith is made up of parenchymatous cells. Center of this is this first picture, center portion, it is well developed. And if you say, if you as you are seeing here this first picture, it is cortical region, that is dermal tissue, that is ground tissue is numerous layered. If you say, there are several layers of ground tissue, and these ground tissue is made up of collenchymatous, sclerenchymatous, and parenchymatous cells, as compared to reduced form of ground tissue in dicot stem. Vascular bundles, that is this circular is metaxylem, metaxylem, and its number is more than 8. So the next part of this next slide, where you are seeing is TS of sitem. The TS of sitem in monocots has some variation, like it is ground tissue is not differentiated. What is ground tissue is not, that is, you will not find cortex, you will not find endodermis, you will not find pericycle, you will not find any pith area. Like in TS, third image, you will see TS subsidium. There is no cortical zone, no endodermal zone, no pericycle, no pith area. So in Ts subsystem, pith is completely absent, and it is the continuous. In monocots, it is the continuous layers, it is the continuous mass of parenchymatous cells. So if you say the classification of tissues, so there are three types of tissues: dermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. So here in monocots, in Poaceae family, dermal tissue will be present. That is epidermis. Epidermis will be there, or you can say in epidermis you will find trichomes, stomatas. In most of the most of this uh, Poaceae species, this uh, trichomes are absent. Trichomes are, and in ground tissue you will find parenchymatous cells, coloncymatous cells, and sclerenchymatous cells. So here you are observing here. If you see the TS of system here, you will not find any coloncymatous or sclerenchymatous cells. This is the mass of cells. Inside these mass you will find vascular tissue, but this mass of cells is made up of only parenchymatous cells, not coloncymatous cells. So pericycle is absent. Your pericycle is absent, and pith is completely absent. And here you will find vascular bundle. Vascular bundle is closed type. That means in between xylem and phloem there is no cambium ring. Cambium, if cambium is absent, that means secondary growth does not happen. So in TS obsidium, secondary growth is completely absent. Secondary growth is completely absent. So phloem also, here you will show there are in xylem and phloem there are different types of cells. In xylem we have xylem. In xylem we have trichides, we have vessels, we have xylem parenchyma, we have xylem fiber. Same way in phloem, phloem has sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. But here in TS of Citium of Poaceae family, the phloem parenchyma is completely absent. So this is TS of Citium. So if we compare TS of root, TS of Citium, in TS of root, pith is well developed, but in TS of Citium, pith is not present, totally absent. And in TS of root, you will find different regions, different zones, like dermal zone, like dermal tissue, like you will find ground tissue, and you will find ground vascular tissue. But in TS of Citium of Poaceae family or all the monocots, you will not find any differentiating tissues. Any differentiating tissues. Now comes to the third last picture of this slide, that is TS of leaf. So TS of leaf, it is in Poaceae, its leaf is isobilateral. That means it has two equal faces. Like the photosynthesis, they will do photosynthesis in this area or that area. Both area is green in color, both area has color, both area has stomatas, equal number of stomatas. There is no such differentiating things. Mesophils are not differentiating in these leaves, and stomatas are found in both the surfaces. Okay, then if we say the veins are parallel, that is the common characteristic feature of the group monocots. But other than this, there are a type of cells which is called biliform cells. What are these biliform? These are bubble shaped cells which are found in the epidermal layer of these leaves, of the leaves of Poaceae family or leaves. So these biliform cells have specialized cells. They have special function. What they have function, what they are doing, they store water, and during desiccation, during water storage, they roll, these cells roll leaves, they roll leaves to avoid water loss due to the transpiration. And also this leaf has some important characteristic feature. I already taught you in last lecture that in in this family Poaceae we have C3 as well as C4 plants. Like in maize is C4 plant. So in C4 plant you will find crans anatomy. Crans anatomy is present in Poaceae plants. Some plants, some species of what is crans anatomy? Basically, Kran's anatomy is not so differentiating. It has only one differentiating character. Like every plant, every leaf of plant has bundle sheath as well as mesophyll cells. Usually, photosynthesis take place in mesophyll cells, but here in Kran's anatomy in C4 plants, bundle sheath cell as well as mesophyll cells both contains chloroplast that both possess photosynthesis. They do photosynthesis. They store sugar and they translocate sugar into different parts. So this whole was the anatomy of Poaceae family. So anatomically they are different from the other class of angiosperm plants, that is dicots. So in roots you will find different pith present, and in dicot root pith is totally absent. In dicot root the vascular bundle is less than 18 number, and their cortical dermal tissue is very small as compared to this one. And they have in dicots they have they take place secondary growth by the presence of cambium cells. Here the cambium is totally absent as well. Now is in comparison to the TS of root, in TS of stem also you will find they have only one zone of cells, that is parenchymatous zone, matrix of parenchymatous cells. In between these cells you will find vascular bundles. That these tissues like dermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue is non differentiating. You will not find any differentiation. Like in dermal tissue you will find trichomes, the stomatas are not present, and in dermal tissue corticus, endodermis, pericycle, pith area is completely absent in TS system of monocots, TS of monocots, as and it is vascular bundle. It is vascular bundles are open type. That means cambium is absent. They are closely joined to form a circular rings. You will find different rings. These are vascular one. These are xylem and phloem. So in TS of leaf, like if we see TS of dicot leaf, dicot leaf is different than monocot leaf because they possess stomata in one side. They don't have isobilateral leaves. They don't possess biliform cells. They don't have any type of anatomy which is called Crohn's anatomy. Now, coming to the last part of this topic, Poaceae family, that is economic importance. So, is there any economic importance of this family Poaceae? So, if we see first lecture, I will show you it is the most important family, flowering family, because it provides food not for human beings. It provides food from the cattle. It provides shelter from other micro and macro organisms present on earth. It is the most large group of plants which provides different types of importances to human beings, to animals, and to other ecosystem services. Like first economical importance of this family is food. Agricultural grasses, which we are cultivated, which we are grown, they are called cereals. So cereal crops are belonging to this family Poaceae, or grasses, belongs to their grasses. So about 70% of consumption, of human consumption of these grasses are from the Poaceae. Like we are daily using grasses, we are using grains of rice, wheat, maize, barley, oat, etc. for our food. Morning time we used to have food. Someone will use chapati and some use rice. These chapatis, these rice, these samosas, and these everything, it comes from the family Poaceae. So it is food from the food perspective. It is most important, most economic family. Next to the food is fodder. It provides food, not animal, and then not human beings, but also animals. Like it feeds cattle. There are several species which are using the aerial part of this species used as green fodder for the cattle, like some species cynodon, some agrostis, some imperata, sorghum species, steria, pova. These are some common species which we are using, which we are grown for the fodder crops. Then third important economic importance of this family is beverages. So grains of wheat, grains of rice, grains of millets, grains of maize are used for the manufacture of locally manufacture of beers, alcoholic beverages. So they have also industrial uses. What are these industrial uses? Several species of this family like maize, and we use it in various purposes like adhesive, soaps, starch, plastics, and linoleum, etc. And also used for making paper and biofuel production. We use as a biofuel. One of the important economic importance of this family is sugar. So the sugar which we use coffee daily. We use tea and coffee. We use the sugar. That sugar comes from this family Poaceae. So sugar belongs to the family Poaceae. That sugar cane, Saccharum officinalis, is the scientific name of sugar and the main source of sugar. And in sugar we use sugar juice, and sugars can be used for the manufacture of different beverages also, different beer, whiskey, and other alcoholic things. So the next economic use of this family is jowar and bajra, and jowar and bajra is also cheaply used for poultry and cakes, feed for poultry and cakes, also for manufacture of beverages. Essential oils, which what is one of the important economic importance of this essential oils. I think everyone you should know lemongrass, Cymbopogon citruses, and ginger grass, which is very important grass cultivated throughout the country for the production of oils. These oils are used to make perfumes, to make medicine, creams, soaps, and also mosquito repellents. And some of the species of this family is used for ornamental purposes, like Exonopsis. One of the important plant of this family is commercially used for the ornamental purposes, and other species like Cynodon dubgrass used for the corridors, like from the land making, and other daily uses. We use this plant for when we make any park, any garden. These species are commonly used. Other importance, which is one of the major importance of this family, is bamboos. So bamboo is a multi-purpose plant because they have multiple functions, they have multiple uses. Like some bamboos are using for making paper, some are used in different works like construction, basket container, fences, fences, or for which is also in rural areas. They have also uses in making their houses and other things. So one of the importance of this family is medicinal importance. This family is medicinally also important because it contains some agents like anti-cancerous agents, which is used to cure breast cancer, also used to treat several diseases like gastrointestinal disease, urinary tract, prostate, sexual disorders. Also, these species like Thysolinia species is used to cure conjunctivitis. Also, the leaves of some species are used to cure cough and cold of horses. So these species are used for water retention. Also, they retain water for several days. Also, nutrient enrichment. How they enrich nutrients to the soil? The dead roots of more of the grasses that are decomposed and they provide nutrients to the soil. After that, the secondary vegetation comes out with good source of nutrients. So they enrich nutrients to the soil. Species are used because they are high content of fibers used to make ropes. And also important economic importance of this family is habitat of various small organisms. They live, they nourish, they provide. This family provides habitat for these animals to make houses there. And also they have these species are used, the stem is used into making mats, like bamboos are used to make mats, fans, hats, and other forms of thatching huts. These species are also used in lawns and soil erosion control. Like grasses are the primary plants used in lawn and gardens, and also used to make playground fields for many sports like football, tennis, golf, cricket. Also, they also provide an important means of, so they prevent soil erosion. They bind soil because of these fibrous roots. So if you see the next side one, these colorful inflorescences of Exonopsis, this is one of the important ornamental species of this family. So thank you. This was about the family Poaceae. In this family, we have now known, we have discussed it is morphology, it is distribution, it is diversity, it is reproductive characters, how they are reproductively different to other families, other affinities, and we now know it is anatomical features, and also we know that these species are economically so important, not for human beings but also for animals, also for animals as well as ecological importance. Thank you all.